us obviously losing Carson. What does that do to the blue line depth, and what will you miss about him on the roster?
Well, it obviously stings. Carson's a great kid. A player that we had saw a lot of value in. His progression over the last couple of years was fantastic. When I first got here, we kind of had him pegged for Iowa, and he took a job. He stole a job, and he kept getting better and better. And it's unfortunate, but those are the rules. And we knew we were going to lose a good player, and it was Carson, and we wish him nothing but the best. He gave us some good years, and he's going to do fantastic. As for the obviously it hurts our depth, but we've got some work to do, and we got to fill some spots.
With Capo also exposed, were you surprised he wasn't the pick, or was Carson kind of who you were expecting to lose today?
To be honest with you, we knew we were going to lose one of the two of them. That's kind of what we felt. We are extremely happy to have Capo still with us. I think with his ability and his cap hit, he fits perfectly. He's given us some really good years and kind of developed and worked up through the ranks and done the right things. So, he's been very good for us, and we're looking for him to continue to get better.
And last one for me, I know you got the draft coming up, but then free agency next week. How important will that be to kind of find more depth defensively, or do you feel comfortable with what you have in the system on the blue line?
Well, we like what we have in the system, obviously, and we're going to continue to try to create depth. We're going to have to be active in free agency. We could be active in the trade market. There are a lot of things we could do. We just understand where we are right now, and we have some flexibility.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Dane.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Bill, did you consider making a side deal with Seattle to try to influence their pick?
No, we really didn't. We could have we could have done that, but kind of the way we felt is if we did that and got a draft pick back or something, we were still going to lose a player, so we would lose more assets than we already have. So this was kind of the way we approached it all along. And like I said, we knew we were going to lose a good player, somebody that we liked and valued, and we did.
Protecting Cam over Capo, I guess just the goaltending decision itself, was that a difficult one, or how did you decide ultimately to protect Cam over Capo?
You know what? It's always a difficult decision, but there are things with, where Capo is, what we have in the system, and then what Cam brings also with the consistency, the professionalism, the leadership, all those things. And it was a tough decision, but you know what? I think we made the right one. And I think we came out of it kind of lucky to have our goalie tandem intact. And you know what? They were very good last year, and we're looking for more of that, in the coming years.
I think when I asked you last week about your needs in free agency, you said to circle back after expansion besides defense. What else do you think you could be shopping for next week?
Listen, we're going to have to round out our roster with a couple forwards as well. And like I said, there's a free agent market, there's a trade market, there's ways of doing things, but our biggest need will be on defense.
How active, Bill, do you think that trade market will be once the freeze is lifted, and how active the Wild could be?
That's a good question, Sarah. I think it's going to be active, but we want to continue to do things that work for us. We're not just going to jump at anything. I think forward depth wise, we're in a really good spot. We've got some younger players that I think can push for roster spots this year. Not guaranteed, but they got to push. And that's kind of where we are. We'll see what comes across my desk, and if it like I always say, if it makes sense, we'll do it. We're not going to be over aggressive or too patient. We'll do what's right, what we feel is right.
A draft question for you, Bill, the entry draft. Just what type of flexibility do you have with those 2 first rounders? And could you see, movement up or down, trading one or both, just having 2?
Well, we're not going to chase anything, that's for sure. I mean, we're very comfortable where we are. To have 2 first-round picks this year is a good position to be in. If there's something that makes sense where we can move up or move back, we'll do it. We're pretty flexible. We're an open-minded group that will listen to anything.
Lastly, the obligatory, any update on talks with Kaprizov and Fiala question?
Kind of status quo. I think this has been a pretty busy week with a lot of other things going on, so we haven't really focused too much on that. But I keep saying it, like the lines of communication are open, and we're working towards it. I'm not worried about it. I know that this is just a process, so I feel good about it.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks,
Go ahead,
Sarah.
Dan.
Yeah, Bill, just kind of a process question for you. I know we had talked a couple of weeks back just about kind of your vantage point from 4 years ago at Vegas, and you had a pretty good idea in terms of how that night was going to go. But just, what has it kind of been like, your perspective here navigating this, with a little more uncertainty this time around?
Yeah, I mean, we had some uncertainty, but we kind of had an idea that it would be Carson or Capo, and we were prepared for both. It's not a real big surprise, that we lost Carson. Now it's hey, look, it's about being prepared and about having a plan for either circumstance, and we're ready to go, and we're going to work towards it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Bill, how much has sort of the slowdown in the Kaprizov negotiations sort of stalled what you wanted to accomplish this summer, or has it not affected things?
No, it hasn't affected things. I mean, we have plans for Kirill, we have plans for Kevin, and they're not affecting the other positions that we have to fill. We're not putting anything else on hold. We're going to move forward as we have to, and we'll continue to deal with those 2 players as well.
In terms of the blue line and free agency, I think we talked about it last week, but now that obviously you still have a quality group of 3 with Dumba, Brodian, and Spurgeon, but they're not the biggest defenseman, not the heaviest. How much is that maybe something that you will be looking for in free agency? And also, do you feel like one of the free agents that you get needs to be a right shot D?
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, I guess we would add some size and a right shot. I mean, we're going to reassess the market now and see what's available. And sometimes there's some flexibility or some versatility in guys that shoot one way but prefer the offside. So those things matter as well. It's and to me, to focus on a good fit team wise is really important. Not just the way you shoot or how you play. You have to fit into our structure and how we're going to play too. So there are a lot of things that kind of come into play.
And just lastly, of your current pending free agents, is Ian Cole really the only one that you might be talking to, or there are multiple guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the guys that we're talking to from our older group. I can't really say, you know, right now if we're not talking to other guys or not.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
Any other questions for Bill? All right, thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for playing hurt, Sicky.